A top NIH official admitted in a Wednesday letter that U.S. taxpayers funded gain-of-function research.
Should American tax dollars be used to fund gain-of-function research?
The NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain-of-function research.
As some lawmakers continue to question Dr. Anthony Fauci and the origins of the coronavirus, we are hearing a lot about gain-of-function research. But what exactly is gain-of-function?
Gain-of-function? What the hell is that? Gain-of-function research. Yeah, let's look at this.
So what exactly is gain-of-function? It is a type of research that makes pathogens like viruses deadlier or more infectious to humans.
Well, that just sounds like a terrible idea. Okay, Dr. Paul joins Newsmax. Okay.
All right, so that's just some of it. Talk a little bit about what exactly gain-of-function is.
Gain-of-function is this. They take an animal virus and then they juice it up by passing it through cellular cultures. So they might start out with a broth that's 90% mice and 10% human cell broth, and then they keep changing it till it's ultimately 99% human and 1% mouse, and they find cells that will adapt and grow in the human tissue that aren't supposed to grow in human tissue.
Wait. Okay, now I'm lost. Maybe something a bit less wordy. This looks good.
Right, so gain-of-function research is essentially making super viruses.
Oh, wait. That's like some Resident Evil type shit.
Deep underground, a deadly virus capable of contaminating the entire world has been released.
How is she still standing?
She isn't standing now.
TJ, we've cut back to you.
Are other scientists saying that's what gain-of-function is? No, they shouldn't be. All right, Google Scholar should have some research papers. Okay, yeah, let's just start from the top. Okay, so it seems this paper backs up the definition of gain-of-function that the media's been using. However, it's the wording that really sticks out to me. It's focused on gain-of-function research that is carried out on viruses that have the potential to cause pandemics. According to the paper, scientists are duking it out over whether or not gain-of-function research should be carried out on these type of viruses. On one side, you have the pro-gain-of-function, and we'll call those the tinkerers, or tinks for short. And on the other side, you have those that are against it. We'll call those the no-tinks. Both sides agree that gain-of-function is being... You know what? We'll just let them speak for themselves.
I think we can agree that the term gain-of-function is being used as a curse word. People are pointing to a small number of studies that are increasing the transmission of deadly viruses in animals and saying that's gain-of-function.
Oh my God, yes. In reality, gain-of-function is an umbrella term that refers to any experiment that alters genes in any organism to give them new abilities that they didn't already have before.
Yeah, exactly.
But we shouldn't be performing gain-of-function on these deadly viruses.
Now hold on now.
Oh hell, here we go again.
We only know what viral genes do because we f***ed them up in the first place.
Oh, I agree, but we can't do that to these deadly motherfuckers.
Who you calling a motherfucker?
The deadly viruses?
What's tinkering with these deadly We've already learned how to improve vaccines.
Oh, we can figure that out in other ways. There's no proof that we could do this safely without accidentally causing a pandemic ourselves.
What you talking about, Willis?
But I'm Tom.
There's no doubt that we can do this safely. Self-interest spurs biosafety, and ain't no one wishing any danger on themselves or their buddies.
Oh my God, that doesn't matter. Even under the highest containment settings, accidents happen. See? Whoopsie daisy.
Okay, so they said that gain-of-function is a term that refers to a broad range of different types of research. So what type of research are we talking about? See, this one's not even talking about viruses. Okay, so here's a scenario. There's this gene in animal cells that prevents tumor growth. It's called P53. P53 creates a protein that acts like a nozzle on a fire hose. With that nozzle in place, you can control the amount of water coming out of the end of the hose. But break that nozzle, and you're going to have a very bad day. Likewise, you break p53 and the protein it produces cannot control cell growth, causing your cells to start growing uncontrollably. This is called loss of function mutation. However, this broken gene is usually broken in the same way in a variety of cancers, allowing the cell to continuously produce more and more of this protein. So the researchers already knew that most cancers contain a mutation in this gene that lead to a buildup of faulty p53 protein. So the researchers wanted to know if this broken version of p53 actually helped cancer in some kind of way. To find out, they ran gain-of-function experiments using lab-grown human and mouse cells that completely lacked p53 gene. These cells already had no natural brakes on their growth. The scientists then split these cells into 3 groups. The first being the control group, meaning no changes were made whatsoever. The second group, the scientists added undamaged p53 protein, and in the third group, they added the mutated or damaged p53. What they found is interesting. When healthy p53 was added to the cells, cell growth went back down to normal levels. It's like getting a fire hose back under control by placing a working spigot on it. But get this, when mutated p53 was added, instead of cell growth slowing down, the cells grew even faster. It was like a firefighter not only failing to control the fire hose, but making things worse by backing their truck over the hydrant.
Cool! Old Faithful!
This experiment showed that many cancer-related p53 mutations don't just break the gene's function, they actually give the cancer cells an advantage by making them grow uncontrollably. So, gain-of-function experiments are being used in cancer research. I wonder what other types of research projects they're being used on. Gain-of-function in plants. Okay, so this paper is a review paper that's describing the different ways scientists study how plant genes influence traits like growth, resistance to stress, and crop yield. One of the approaches they talk about is gain-of-function. Researchers use gain-of-function experiments to modify plants to give them new traits they didn't have before. For example, a group of scientists were trying to figure out what genes were involved in crops that survive in salty soil. By identifying the genes responsible for salt tolerance, they were able to modify the crops to be even better at handling salty conditions. So these plants could grow in environments that they couldn't grow in before. Gain-of-function causes loss in pain perception? Okay, so this paper is really interesting. A gain-of-function experiment was carried out to understand a mutation in a gene involved in pain reception. You see, some people are born with a rare condition where they can't feel pain at all, and this puts them at a constant risk of hurting themselves without realizing it. These researchers wanted to understand what was different about these individuals, so they studied the DNA of the people with this condition and discovered that they all had a particular mutation in their genes. So now the researchers wanted to know if it was this mutation that was causing these individuals to not feel any pain. And the way they tested it is wild. They used gain-of-function experiments to genetically modify mice to have the exact same mutation. And just like the humans with this condition, these mice could not feel the pain, and they were found to injure themselves without noticing it. The researchers go on to say that their findings could lead to a way to safely control the process of pain, allowing them to develop therapies to help individuals that deal with chronic pain. Gain-of-function seems to be so much more than just research that's modifying dangerous viruses. It's used to study cancer, crops, and even understand pain tolerance. So what is it that caused gain-of-function to be the dirty word that it is today?